Hi, Lars. There was a glitch, and
Oh no,
did you see the countdown?
I did see the countdown.
Okay, okay. So my streamer just like got frozen, and I had to just like log on again. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. I think that something that we have been wanting to do for a long time, and now we kind of created a format where we can actually kind of frame what we're doing and really give people the bigger picture so that they can buy into the vision. So I'm excited to do this.
Okay, so we're still waiting for people to join, but to use our time wisely. The reason, for the ones who are going to be watching this later, the reason why we wanted to start this series of talks is because, like, we have been receiving so many questions about what Vivel is about, what people should expect when joining the event, or just like if they want to be part of it, what the community is about. So we decided to do these series of events. In the upcoming weeks, we are going to have our participants, and we will be just like hosting them, asking about their experience, about their expectations. So for this week, for the first one, we will be more concentrating on the idea behind it, what our dream is about, and what you should be expecting when you join this community. So I know that you just like talked about this a thousand times before, but Lars, how did you come up with this idea? Like, what was the driver a bit behind this?
I think it's like most ideas get formed. You have certain experiences that make you realize that there is something missing, or that maybe there is something that should be created for people that are in your circles and in your environment. And when I went over the past 2-3 years and really jumped into the digital nomad lifestyle, where I travel with purpose to different places in the world, and a lot of the time, the purpose could be an event or like a music festival of some sort, and that's the reason that you travel somewhere. And I think that I always found myself going to these events and still feeling like I am alone. It sounds really strange, but in essence, I think that many people that go to conferences or are digital nomads could relate to this feeling, where there is maybe 10,000 attendees at a really big conference, and you feel like you talk to people but you don't really connect with them. And I think that that's kind of where the idea came from, is that I believe there could be a middle way between what to us is like a retreat or a major conference. And I think there can be elements of both of these worlds that could benefit people. So I think that the idea initially came from experiencing both retreats and big conferences and thinking, why can this not be a middle ground, and why can this not be a lasting connection that I have with people? Because I always felt like I would go up to a booth from someone. I had a great conversation. You might exchange business cards and you never hear from those people again. And on the other end, you go to a retreat and you have an extreme experience, a very intense experience for, let's say, a week of time. But then after that retreat is over, you cannot maintain that same feeling continuously with those people, because it was maybe a lot on the personal growth side and not enough maybe on the business growth side, and there's not a really healthy balance there. But I think there is a lot of elements in both of these scenarios that are valuable, but they never really come together, and that's, I guess, how the idea started to form.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's really important because that has been my, and we have been talking about this with you before, but that has been my biggest pain too. Because usually when we go to the events, and before the event, we see those people that we really would like to meet, and we say that, okay, I'm going to meet that person. And when the event happens, you don't even get to see that person because the event is too crowded, or you don't know if that's the real person. So you kind of like feel uneasy about like approaching that person, or sometimes you don't even get the opportunity to approach that person. So yeah, I mean, the why behind the 90 tickets is because we really want to keep this event as close knit as possible. And by the way, we will be mentioning about how the structure is going to be like, but to give like heads up, it's going to be only 90 tickets minted as an NFT, and you get to bring your plus one. So the event is going to go up to 180, and what we dream this to be is just like going like that forever. So we are going to make sure that this stays as an intimate, like a close event, that we are just like, having this quality over quantity concept all just like down the path too.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to join, what can they expect from this event?
Well, I think, the expectation that you should have is that you will be in an environment where you have the ability to connect with people, to have a good time, but also to learn and to grow. So I think it has a little bit of everything. And because it is in a format where you're staying in the same hotel as all the participants, you're traveling together with the participants, you go to music events with all the participants, and then in the end you're also going to listen to panel talks and keynotes and really learning about the different elements of the industries that we're targeting. So another thing that you can expect, because we are fairly targeted, because I think you can never set up an event if you don't have a specific niche or focus area. And I think remote work, Web3, and creators is like the three biggest targets that we have. So we believe that you can expect meeting people from those industries, like experts and thought leaders from those industries, and really having the ability to also cross-pollinate, because I think that remote work relates to people in Web3 and crypto, but I also think it relates to creators that kind of overlap in some ways, right? Creators might travel. Let's say a photographer might travel the world. That makes him or her a remote worker. But at the same time, they could sell their photography in the form of NFTs, and now they're also in Web3. So in essence, those particular industries, they overlap more than we think. And that's why I think
Mm-hmm.
it's really relevant for those people to have conversations in person, and maintain that relationship online. So I think that the expectation is that you will meet people that could help you further and can teach you things that you didn't know before you came.
Yeah, that's also really important too, because like I think now time is more valuable than ever. So when we enter an event, we make sure that we are just like getting some value out of it. And so as we are designing, we are making sure that you walk away with an value, and that you just like make the most of your time when you are at Vivel. So, and one part of it is, yes, about networking. So that's this stays on even after you leave. So this is not only going to be about the event itself, but it's going to be like an evergreen community where you're going to be part of that, and you'll be just like, making those connections for a lifetime. And so, Lars, I haven't like one of the most commonly asked questions was that, because like at the moment we are not really revealing the details about the event, so people are kind of like confused. Oh, so this happens in Cappadocia or Adana or in Mersin. So what is it behind that, that decision of making this in three different location, and how is that going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, any event organizer would know that moving to different destinations can be very difficult and challenging logistically. But I believe, as remote workers or digital nomads, or people that enjoy going to festivals, that those things don't always happen in the same places where you live. So you have to get used to moving around and maybe having the ability to to see how you could get from place A to B to C, to be able to experience all these things. And I think it's very representative of the people that would come to this event, that have that, maybe that travel mindset. They do travel for work, they do travel for personal reasons. And we thought that we would want to give them a little bit of an experience of Turkey that is different from just like going to one place like Istanbul and say, okay, here's the event. There's a big airport there. There will be other also like 10,000 people. It's not in line necessarily with what we aim to do, where it's like if we have a smaller group of people, it's easier to maybe say go to different destinations. So we believe that showing them maybe more of the desert and the mystical vibes of Cappadocia, but then also going to the coast with Mersin and having the water there, and then going to Adana, what's more of a more traditional city in Turkey, to really have those style places come together, and you can kind of sense for yourself in which environment you feel most comfortable and maybe you would want to come back to. And I think if we only show one side of one country, then I don't think you get the full representation of what remote work or location independence really is all about. So that's why we take the challenge upon ourselves to kind of show all three of those locations. And then based on that, obviously this is the first year that we are organizing this, so in a way it's also a great test to see what people think about these locations and what it has to offer.
And so I don't know what your experience has been, but like my experience with attending events abroad has been that during the event, I mean, I cannot find the time to get away from the venue and spend time like in the local places or just like to see the place around. So is this event only about going to be like the conference part, or like what about the lifestyle part? You're also mentioning the DJ. So what does that combination look like?
Yeah. I mean, I think that I have been inspired by many lifestyle and music events like all over the world that I think could also have an impact on this concept, right? I mentioned that it can be a combination between a retreat and a bigger conference, but I don't think a music festival on a small scale should be left out, because that's an experience that people will also never forget, and I think music connects people. So yeah, I believe that the experiences that we would build are very unique, like bucket list almost. Like imagine waking up to a sunrise and air balloons going up in the sky. I mean, I think that's something that people probably won't do twice in their life. I think it's something that you only would do once. So I think that creates a special bond between people. So I think the lifestyle element and doing things also for yourself. I think that personal growth comes not just in business, but it comes together with the enjoyments that life has to offer. So I think that the combination between work and play is something that I have really high in my values, and I know that the people that are already committed to coming, they feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I really love how we are just like, blending this, because like everyone is so tired of like working. Now everyone is talking about burnout. Everyone is just like talking about the work-life balance. So this event, we promise you, is going to be a perfect combination of all, and it's going to be like a blended version of the conference and the lifestyle event and networking, taking time off, seeing places, so and workshops, mentioning the workshop. So how are they going to be spending their time, their off time, apart from the conference and the DJ, the music events?
So I think we would still offer like the flexibility to say like, hey, there is particular slots. Let's say during the second day, like you have already experienced the music event, you already experienced the networking style event, and I'm like, okay, this afternoon I have the choice. There's three potential workshops I could attend. But if I feel like, I might want to take a little bit more of a break, I want to stay at the hotel for the first slot, and then I show up at the second and the third, you can sign up for only 2 out of the 3 workshops, let's say in day 2. So in between the things, there's always activities happening. And we have, over the course of 5 days, we have 4 set events. So that means we have 3 music events and 1 conference that are set in stone, like everybody will be participating in those. And then in between, we will have like optional workshops and activities that you can like join into. And then because we're traveling between the places, we also have some fun things up our sleeve for the bus rides between the places, because most bus rides, it's like, okay, it's just getting from A to B. We actually thought about utilizing that transportation to actually provide more workshop style events, activities that could actually add value to the connection you have with other people in the event. So imagine you're on a bus with, let's say, 45 people. Imagine you rotating with, let's say, the person next to you to be able to connect with them on a deeper level. Those are the types of things you should think about. Like, we have thought about the details of every element of the experience, where you still have a choice to not participate, but we definitely give you the option to take as much out of this event as you possibly can.
Okay. By the way, one of our participants, Mehmet, just commented on LinkedIn, we can build it virtually. I think, Mehmet, what you mean is like you can build the relationship maybe virtually. So good news, you don't have to come in person only. We have an option for you to attend the event as a digital participant as well. So what does that option look like, Lars?
Yeah, so obviously we launched fairly early. Like, normally events don't like launch their tickets until like maybe a few months before the event starts, maybe up to 6 months maximum. But we actually launched like 9 to 10 months before our event actually is happening. In the end of May, it's happening, and we launched mid-August. And we just had the ability for you to join in person and bring a plus one with you. And after talking to many people, we learned that a lot of people would still love to participate and join this community, but maybe they would be in the US or somewhere far away, and the travel might be a problem, or they didn't feel like that would be the best case scenario for this year. They still wanted to have access to it. So then we thought, well, why can we not provide the same type of value, but also provide an online platform to join into some of these DJ live sets, the expert workshops, and the conference panels. That would be a great way for them still to be feeling like you're watching through the window of this event in person, but at the same time getting all the digital perks about getting introduced to people in the community, where we have a form where we ask you what are the things that you want to get out of this community, and based on that we go into the database of everybody that is participating and kind of matching people so that you get the most out of the digital connection, and potentially could meet at some of our events or other events. That's up to you, but we want to provide that connection where you're now in touch with other people inside of the Vivel community, and give all the resources that we can from our partners and sponsors. That means like discounts that they provide to only Vivel members. But at the same time, it also means that we help you by setting up your personal brand or your business in the best possible way using tools that we also have partnered with. So I think that overall, we really want to provide an in-person connection and experience, but at the same time, we're very aware that you also need to maintain the digital relationships with the people. Doesn't matter if you go in person or you stay digital.
Yeah, this is really important too, because like as we said, Vivel is a community. So it's not only about the event, but the event is for the community. So we want to grow this community to be 10,000 people in 5 years. This is our dream. And so if you want to be part of the community, no matter if you just like attended in person or you attended as a digital participant, or if you become like a community partner, then you'll be there in the part of the community forever. By the way, we started getting comments. This event is very unique, and exactly. And so talking about the sponsors, I know that we have still some slots available for sponsorship. Who would be the right fit to be a sponsor for this event, and what's in it for them to sponsor this event?
Yeah, so obviously, with what we're doing is that we don't see it as a short-term play. We think that everything, both for attendees but also partners and sponsors, is a long-term play. Like, you could see it as you're joining a community or a family that is adamant about Web3, remote work, and like a lifestyle that is free, like that you have the ability to have maybe financial freedom, location freedom, and mindset freedom to be able to do what you want. And if we're looking at partners or sponsors, we want to match that audience that we have with brands that could also add value to them and the audience adds value to them as a brand as well. So it's kind of like a co-creation between all of us, where we might be the facilitator as Vivel, but we really want to bring the brands together with the participants in the best possible way, and not doing it in a quantity way where maybe they only want to like check it out. We want them to actually have the conversation. That's why all partners and sponsors, actually part of their sponsorship package is to actually attend themselves, because we want them to have the relationship and the conversations in person themselves. We want them to be able to provide that story also to the digital participants in a very unique way. And I think if you combine that, then let's say this year we might have 600 people joining the Vivel community. And like you said, over the next 5 years, our goal is to keep the in-person at the quality level of 90 tickets, 180 maximum. But digitally, we could open up more spots if there's more demand. And that would lead to having a bigger audience to target as a sponsor too. So we want to have, over the next 5 years, we want to have 10,000 people in our community, and we would love to have 100 brand partners that match the same vibe and the same ability to connect with our audience, that we believe we give to our audience. And I think that value of hierarchy, where we co-create with you, that's an extremely big value of us, is that every single sponsor is not contributing just by finances and making it happen. They're actually sponsoring one particular element of the actual experience that people will go through. So they would feel a lot more inclined to check out what you're doing, because you actually create one piece of the event yourself. In the sense that could be a lunch or a dinner or a workshop or a booth, or maybe a bus that you're sponsoring. So every time someone goes in the bus, they would, let's say, be in front of your brand. If they have that particular lunch, they would be in front of your brand. If they go to the music event and you're the stage sponsor, you're in front of the brand. And I think that that's something that I haven't seen many events do, where we don't have any sponsor package that is just like, provide us with this money and we give you this audience. No, we want you to be immersed in the audience yourself, have the conversations with them, and provide something. Like you've probably seen it before, where you get something as like kind of like a present or a gift, and you feel very special when that happens in that moment. You should feel like when they're going to the experience, there is multiple touch moments that you could be that person or that brand that gives that particular feeling to the attendees. And now you are physically there to have the conversation about it. I think that's a very powerful tool that we are providing with the in-person. And we're trying to represent that in the best possible way to also bring it across to the digital audience as well.
Yeah, I, by the way, love the fact that you mentioned co-creation, because we really want to co-create this event. This is going to be the first one. We want to co-create it with our participants, with our partners, with our sponsors. So first year sponsors, first year partners, first year participants are like really dear to our heart, because they're going to be the first creators. So I just wanted to share our info email too. So if you want to connect with us, you can email at connect@vivel.xyz. So if you want to be a partner, if you want to get involved, if you want to sponsor, and not to mention that our sponsorship packages are really reasonable, because I have been, like you have been, doing events. We all know that, as you said, people are more focusing on the monetary value. But what we really want to achieve out of this is like doing really like co-create this event, co-create this experience. So people just like, come and leave with something that they've never experienced before. So as we come towards the end of our broadcast, I would also like to ask you if someone wants to get involved, be like part of the team, if they want to support, what are the ways that they can support the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Obviously, the physical ticket, you should see it as, I buy this ticket, I'm 100% in. I want to be in Turkey. I want to be a part of it. That's one way to just say, okay, I'm in. But I think that another really cool way that we've opened up, so what I didn't mention about the digital tickets, is that there is actually a chance to still go in person by contributing to the event in some way or form. So what does that mean? You basically buy a ticket that is 10 times cheaper than the in-person ticket, but we're going to look at the time that you put in, the thoughtfulness that you put in to be able to help out this event. And based on that, we're selecting 10% of the people that buy digital tickets. They will actually be able to go in person, and they earned that right in some way or form. So you could be an insane marketer and you do a great job of marketing the event, and because of that many people join, and that's a great way to contribute, and we say, okay, you did a great job and we will want you to be in person with us, and we give you the ticket because you contributed. Or maybe you say, I really think I could help out on the video side. I would love to join, and I will basically shoot the video during Vivel, and you bought that digital ticket for 10 times cheaper, but you're providing your services to add to the event. That's another way that we could say, okay, we would want you to come to Vivel in person because you're contributing. And this is a great way for this event to be accessible for anyone, because the price point to go digital is a lot less than if you would want to join 100%. But at the same time, you now can actually share your co-creation with us of how you could help the event move forward and to reach more people, or to put it in a better light than maybe we have done. Maybe there's talent out there that could help us get it to the next level. And those are all great ways to get involved, and the reward would be that you actually get to experience a very unique group of people in person. So I think that those are for more the attendee people, or people that want to be part of the team or part of what we're building. I think that's a great way to get in front of us, and everybody gets that equal opportunity to show themselves and to provide that extra value. And like, I mean, myself and Mina are always open to have the discussion and jump on a call with you if you want to elaborate further of what you would like to add to the event. So again, sending an email or buying that ticket, there's actually instructions when you buy that digital ticket of how you could get the most out of that ticket. And one of the ways is to fill out like a form of how you want to contribute, and another one is to fill out a form to be able to see what we can do for you. So I think that those are great ways to get involved at a lower barrier of entry. And also, if you say like, you know what, I have no doubt about this event, then buying an in-person ticket means that you're 100% part of the first 90. And I think that looking back 5 years from now, I think that you will say that that was a wise decision.
Yeah, I mean, and being like one of the first group, I mean, I think it's going to be like a privilege down the line. So I just like shared our website too, if you want to check the details. By the way, there was one question. Web3 game producers can also attend or be a sponsor, right? Yes, that's right. Because this event, and to just like, sum up, we are designing this event to bring together the remote work and the Web3 communities, because like we feel that now after the pandemic everyone wants to have these in-person events too, so we believe in the power of getting together, and that's why we wanted to get the community members, the thought leaders, the community members, and the supporters of these communities. Or if you're interested in being part of that community, if you want to meet the thought leaders or the people, the community of remote work or Web3, you're more than welcome to join us, join the community, either as in person or as a digital participant or like a supporter, as Lars mentioned, by first getting your feet wet and just like, sensing it, trying to understand what the community is about. And then if you're just like, want to be in person participant too, would love to have your presence at the event. So yes, Web3 definitely our target audience, remote workers definitely, the digital nomads definitely, or if you are aspiring to be one, you're again welcome. Okay, so do you want to add anything else? Did we forget to mention anything?
No, I think obviously the event is May 24 to 28. I think that's always good to mention that the time frame that for the in-person event, and yeah, leading up to it, we will have many touch points to help you facilitate whatever it is that you need to be able to make the experience for you the best we can make it. So I think that that's the last information. But on the website and even on our social medias, we have a lot of information already and a lot more to come. So when the announcements come, as far as like what DJs will come, we have already a few announcements of those. We're going to announce the speakers that will come, announce the sponsors that we have locked in, and then from there you can kind of make your decision on your own. So yeah, I think that like stay in touch is probably the best, following the Instagram or the LinkedIn right here. Then there you will find like these types of talks that we're doing here every week, where we invite our participants to also share their experiences. And you can ask any questions that you have. If you have any doubts about joining and you want to just ask the direct question, well, this is the perfect opportunity to do so. So if you follow along with these chats, when you're not 100% sure, then we are here to answer any of your questions too.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, if you're interested in learning more, you can either visit our website, you can just like send a direct message. You can please do follow our LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter accounts, so that you stay up to date with all the announcements, everything happening about the event. And as we said, if you want to support, we'd be delighted to meet you. You can just like reach out to me or Lars on Instagram, on LinkedIn. I'm really active on LinkedIn. He's really active on Instagram. So you can just like reach out to us. We can have a call. We'd be delighted to meet you. Okay, so this was our first stream, and we'll be doing these every week with the participants, with our supporters, partners. So please do follow us. And thank you, Lars. It was great having you. And you want to add something? By the way, please share this talk via YouTube as well. Yes, I am actually streaming it on my YouTube account. I'll be just like sharing all the links on the LinkedIn under this stream in the comments, so that you can just like, follow it from all our channels.
Sounds good. Okay, well, I will see you guys again next week then.
Yep. Take care, everyone. Bye.